Want to know what to expect over the next 1 to 3 days or so? Well, I'm here to help you with that, my friend. Good one, everyone. I'm Araya Eden, and this is Daily Energy with daily predictions, your news before the news. Good one is my way to greet. It means good, blessed, and wonderful. Today's energy, because I read energy, is going to be about cleaning, organizing, designing, decorating, structuring, supporting. These are your key words to the energy today. When we're looking at organizing, we're talking more so on a home front. Organizing your internal environments. This is also home. You know, they say home is where you make it, so to speak. Well, home is also you. Sometimes we go and we're looking for home and we just don't feel it. But we have to feel it in ourselves. Our home represents our support system. It represents our comfort. It represents our foundation. And as we will see play out today, in the energy and over the next 1 to 3 days or so, that if the foundation is jacked up, then the whole structure is almost like it has no hope. It will be leaning to one side or the other until it is time for it to fall. Okay? So there's going to be challenges to structure. One of the things that I see in the energy that's going to be beneficial when it comes down to managing the building and the structure is going to be effective communication. If you have effective communication, you're good to go. If you have ineffective communication, And today I tried to give you a heads up days ago while I was on break to let you know that today is just one of them days. Okay, so this is one of them days when there's agitation, there's frustration, there's hurt people that try to hurt people, there's a lot of people just being mean, rude, surly, you name it. That's the energy today. There's breakups because of this ineffective communication. There's a lot of stress today as I see jobs being challenged. There's a lot of stress today because some people didn't make the grade. They didn't get the position. And I'm seeing this. And so people who have a bad day, sometimes they don't know what to do with that energy. And so you just so happen to be at the so-called wrong place at the wrong time and run up on some of this energy when you go into the store. So you know how you see a lot of these like fights breaking out in these stores and stuff like that. I seen one of those the other day, and there was this man and he was beating up on this woman. We don't know what happened, right? We don't know what happened before that. Only those who know what happened was those who were there. Okay? But the thing is, that's what we're going to start seeing more of over the next 1 to 3 days or so. A lot of fights. I'm also picking up on the creeps. Okay, I'm going to call them creeps because they need help. And anybody that harms a child in any kind of way, I call you a creep. Period. Period. And I say that to say this over the next 1 to 3 days or so. And when I say so, sometimes it can stretch out to a week. Okay. But in the next 1 to 3 days or so, you want to keep your children close to you. If you're going to, it's the summertime and summertime creeps are out. They're out lurking about in these parks and stuff. Some of them are lurking about in your home because sometimes it's the people closest to you. Keep your children close. And if a child comes to you and they tell you this happened to me or that happened to me, look, listen, watch your babies because I am picking up on pervert energy. Okay. I've been picking up on pervert energy for a while. And there might even be police crackdowns on those who want to take advantage of children who are of, I'm going to say 13 and under. 14 and under, 15 and under. I'm talking about on the statutory level. You get what I'm saying without me having to say it? Because I don't like to say it, but that's what I'm seeing in the energy. And so there's perverts out here right now. So you want to keep your babies close to you. I'm also seeing a lot of drug addiction, a lot of people who are overdosing on drugs as well. So this could be illicit drugs. This could be performance drugs. This could be recreational or what have you. I'm seeing, or medical drugs, but I am seeing overdose. I am seeing performance enhancement. I am seeing, so a lot of this like drug energy. So we'll hear more in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so about drugs, opiates, marijuana, rules, laws, and regulations having to do with that. We might also see something about a sports player come up that ends up getting in trouble or accused of using performance enhancement drugs. I also see these performance enhancement drugs being used on animals, such as racehorses or something along those lines. So we're definitely going to be seeing something coming in about horses, as horses are like entering the energy more so as we get back into our farming and agricultural roots here as a whole in the world. Okay. So, we're going back country in the country. Okay. And so that's what I'm seeing there. We're also going to be seeing something coming in, since I'm on the realms of agriculture. I'm seeing something coming in about corn on the cob, something about corn coming up. This could have something to do with animal feed, but corn is going to be highlighted over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Peas as well. And it could also be an indication of go ahead and make preparations for your fall garden. Okay, your fall garden. In the fall, I like to get my my lettuce, my collards, my cabbage. I like to get all of that started there. My kale and spinach and stuff, because they tend to like colder, like cooler weather here. So get your garden beds prepared for the fall. Get your seeds, get your sprouts ready, okay? Because I am picking up on like garden energy, and more specifically garden beds. So we're going to see a lot about gardening coming into the energy over the next 1 to 3 days or so. This is stuff that can make the news. Now, we talked about the drugs, right, that I'm seeing, performance enhancement drugs. I'm also seeing some names here coming into the energy. These names might not have nothing to do with the performance enhancement drugs. These are just names that we're going to see in the news highlighted over the next 1 to 3 days or so. One of those names I saw was Kara. So Kara, all right, we'll see something about Kara. I also saw Savannah. We'll see something about Savannah in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Deco, we'll see something about Deco coming in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. I'm also, now Deco is a football player, okay? I believe he's a soccer player. We'll hear something coming in about Deco over the next 1 to 3 days or so. There's also Cody, the name Cody. We'll see the name Cody in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so, as well as Joe. Joe is in the energy over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Okay. Job is we're gonna, like, since today's Wednesday, we're gonna hear a lot about, like, a lot, if you're going to church and stuff like that, your pastor, preacher, teacher, whoever, they might start talking about the story of Job. Okay. Job. Okay. Job. And it's very fitting for today because Job went through so much, right? But he had it good at first, right? But he ended up going through so much out of nowhere, and it was like what happened? It's what we call being tested. It's what we call basically getting ready to change phases in life, increasing in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And I tell you all the time that wisdom does not come without sacrifice. And so Job increased in wisdom because as he only knew at first the upper side of things, this was a rich man at first. And it was a man that had children and family and all of this stuff, living the good life. And then all of a sudden life happened. And when life happened, it's like, it seems like he lost everything all in the same day. His children, like his land was destroyed. Like a tornado came through. Okay? His wife told him, why don't you just go ahead and curse God and die? His friends somewhat turned their backs on him in a way because they believed that he had did something wrong. They just didn't understand Job. And Job saying, look, why all of a sudden y'all looking down on me? Like I'm not that guy. Like I'm not the one that was there for you when you were down. Like you didn't come asking me, can I loan you this and can I loan you that? And I did it. You see? So I didn't do nothing. This just happened to me. And sometimes this is what I was talking about being in the wrong place at the wrong time, so-called. It's because things happen. And sometimes you don't have an explanation for that thing, but it's always explainable. And in the case of Job, I explain it in a way that he was able to increase in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Even though God already knew what will happen, even though the enemy tried to challenge Job, basically was like, hey, of course he's going to praise you. Of course he's going to say all this about you because you give him everything he wants. But if you challenge him, I bet you he turn away from you. I bet you he turn away from you. And some of us are going through those going through that instance. Like even for me, I know he tried it. I know the enemy tried it. They like, you have sheltered her whole life. She ain't never had to worry about nothing. You always protected her and shielded her. But I bet you if you take your hands off her, I bet you she fall. I bet you she won't get back up again. But I bet you he was a lie. Because I bet you every time they threw something on my path, I bet you I got up. I got up, I ran through, I leaped over. And if I could do it, guess what? If Joe could do it, guess what? So can you. If your ancestors could do it, guess what? So can you. You can run through and leap over. And that's exactly what you're going to have to do to get to the next phase in your life. And speaking of a fall, y'all, let me tell you, yesterday, I came out the house, had my wig in my hand. I was ready to go. I don't know what happened. I went to step off the porch and my ankle just gave out. You know I'm an Aquarius. So Aquarius isn't our dang on ankles, okay? like Achilles heel, okay? It's my dang on ankle. I can't tell you how many times I done rolled this ankle playing soccer, in the military. Like I done rolled this ankle so many times. I done fell in a hole, done told somebody done told me that's what you get me. Like, I'm telling you. And then so yesterday I was coming off the porch, and next thing you know, I done fell off this porch into my garden bed. But look, here is what I did when I got back up though. When I got back up, all I could say was thank you. In a sense, because I realized that I fell in a place where I really could have got hurt. Like, really, really could have got hurt. Like, I fell onto some cinder blocks. I fell in some geese shit. I fell on concrete. And I only had a scratch on my ankle. I heard my ankle pop. And I said, oh Lord, I done broke my ankle. But I got up and I was able to walk on it. And even to this day, I'm sitting on it right now and I feel absolutely no pain. Now, here's the story, the moral of that. Where you got hurt before and you felt that pain of that hurt before, once you're broken to dust and you're broken to the point that you can only be created with, you won't be hurt the same. The feeling of being hurt won't be the same. Some of you know that that's called being numb. When you done been hurt so much that you become numb to being hurt. And it's almost like God was saying, I'm not going to hurt you like I hurt you before. Before it was a lesson. Before it was a test. Before you didn't know no better. And I had somebody the other day, they said, that they were a bad person. They've done a lot of bad things. And I'm telling you, just like I told them, no, my baby, you're not a bad person. Because a bad person will not feel remorse for the bad that they have done. They don't think about that. You see? They don't think about that. You're not a bad person. You were just ignorant at a time. You were just foolish at a time. And everybody goes through those ignorant and foolish stages to where you don't know no better to do better. But once you learn better, that's when you start doing better. That's why I always tell people, don't get so hard on yourself in life. Forgive yourself. I talk about how I'm always forgiving of myself. I'm not going to talk down on myself and beat myself up about something that I did. I'm not. Regardless of if man calls it a sin or not. I'm going to love myself through it because I know my Father loves me through it. I know that he's not harsh on me. So if he's not harsh on me, why am I going to be harsh on you or anybody else? Because I know what I done did. And I know what he done said to me. You see? Through it. And I've seen time after time, people that I'm around, they make a mistake. Or they make a mistake, then they consider themselves to be failures. You are not a failure. Mistakes and failures are not even mistakes and failures. So how can you be a mistake or a failure when they're not even what they seem to be? So it's all about you falling down, you getting back up, and you keep going. And when you go, you realize, you know what, this is not as bad as I thought it was. And the interesting thing about my fall is when I fell in a way that I actually feel like my ankle popped back in place because I feel like it was out of whack because it was hurting before, and now it feels so much better. Weird, but truth. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. So today, and over the next 1 to 3 days or so, there also is going to be falling incidents. Okay, more specifically, since I'm talking on the line of structure, home front structure, there, and I'm seeing construction being highlighted really, really heavy in this energy today. So there could be buildings falling down, walls falling down. These could be old historical buildings or something like that, but I'm definitely seeing something significant about construction and building, construction material. All right, so we'll hear over the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so a lot about that. There's going to be transitions into the spirit today. It starts today, and then over the next 1 to 3 days or so, it's going to intensify. More specifically, in the 1 to 3 days or so, it's going to intensify. Okay, so there's going to be transitions into the spirit. Okay, here. So, and this is going to be like domestic violence energy. So police are going to be called to schools because of these perverts and these inconsiderate beings. Police are going to be called to home fronts because, of these conflicts within a family or a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife type situation. Domestic violence, suicide attempts. I am seeing that because I'm seeing overdose and I'm seeing leaps. So an increase in suicide because life starts lifing. And sometimes people don't know what to do when that happens because they've never seen a blueprint of life lived successfully around them that they had access to. And so when life starts lifing and they feel like nobody understands them, or they get fired from their job, which is likely today, they end up trying to take themselves out. So pay attention and listen. Yes, be aware. Okay? Provide what you can provide. Okay? If you have information, provide that information to someone in need. I'm seeing installations. This is a good time to install some things in the home front, or install cameras for sure. Okay? Because the devil is going to be lurking about, seeking whom. Okay? Seeking whom. Like Job, he can go to God and say, look, you give them everything they want. Of course they're going to do this for you. Of course they're going to praise you. Of course they're going to worship you. But I bet you if you challenge them just a little bit, I bet you they stray away. I bet you they forget to call out on you. And I'm telling you, that's the issue going on here. We got it good where we live. And we've had it good where we live for a while, right? For some of us, you know what I mean? But on the other side of that thing, and when I say we had it good compared to somewhere else, we had it good. Notice I said had it good. Past tense. Because now the challenge comes. If you think you're going to get out of this unscathed, that's not happening. Who is you? America. Unfortunately, everybody has their time. And for us to think that it's not going to hit home, I've been telling you this for years. It does hit home. The Bible itself has been telling you this for years. It didn't say no names, but it tells you what's getting ready to happen. And believe you me, it's going to happen. Because what did I tell you? There's only one thing basically that can stop it from happening, and that's God. And in order for God to have it stop, our people, his people, whom are called by his name, have to humble themselves, pray, seek his face, so that he can intercede for thee. You see? So that's that energy. All right, so I'm seeing people feeling overwhelmed, agitated, okay? Needing to hold steadfast. Don't give up. Hold on. Just a little while longer. What was that? Oh, child, I ain't gonna sing that because I'll probably jack it up. I like that Tyler Perry movie, Family Reunion. And I remember when she was saying, okay, I'm gonna try it. But don't judge me now. But she was singing, hold on just a little while longer. That's all I'm gonna do, cause okay, so hold on just a little while longer. Pray on just a little while longer. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Hold on a little while longer. Pray on a little while longer. Be loyal to what it is that you love. Okay, be loyal to what it is that you love. Look, ain't nobody else seeing the vision that God gave you. God gave you that vision, and you only that vision for a reason. Now, he might have put it in somebody's heart to tell you that your vision is going to come to pass. He's might have put it on somebody's heart to confirm that it's not a coincidence that I chose you and I chose you for a reason. So he might have put that on somebody's heart. But your vision, you're the only one that saw it other than God. You're the only one that saw it. So you're the only one that can bring that vision inside of you to life the way it needs to be brought to life. And yes, there are going to be people discouraging you along the way because they did not dream the dream that you dreamed, and they did not see the vision that you saw. Okay. So it's up to you. Okay. So be loyal to what it is that you love. Always, even when you fall or you stray away, always go back to your first love. Always. Because your first love is always going to be there for you with open arms. Because it loved you before you could even love. Okay? All right? That's support. And that's the energy today. So support is a good day to do support work. I talked about home being the support system, but support work, clerical work, making sure you have what you need as we're about to start picking up in the energy over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Things are about to start getting busy. Okay. So you need to, make sure you have what you need to be able to manage things, okay? As I see over the next 1 to 3 days or so, there's going to be people feeling like they have to stand on their own 2 feet, okay? You're going to have to stand on your own 2 feet. So we're seeing a lot of independent acts coming in, even on a business side of things, okay? Look after yourself. Keep the wolf from the door. Okay. So basically there's crook energy and stuff like that, but as long as you prepare ahead of time, you, like I said, install cameras or whatever you need to install. But basically that's something that, we want to do, get along. Okay. Can we all just get along? That's something that may come up over the next 1 to 3 days or so, because this is conflictual energy, a lot of fighting energy coming in. And so the key here is that we need to weather the storm. Okay. Weather the storm, because we're going to be able to get over it. Okay. uh, of the grappling and the wrestling and all of that stuff, because we wrestle not against what? We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness and where? In high places. Okay? So it's the spiritual wickedness. So there's always an undercurrent. So that's why anything that I go through, I always ask, why am I going through it? And once I ask, why am I going through it, I can seek to find the solutions that I need, or the strength that I need to overcome it, to get through it. Okay? So I'm seeing something over the next 1 to 3 days coming up about building, like covering structures, covering or something like that here. And so let's just say you're covered. All right. And you're going to need to cope. We're going to see people turn into drugs, trying to cope, all this stuff. But you're going to need to cope. In relationships, yes, there's going to be fights. But this year, in the year of the 9, is the year to get rid of the people, places, and things that are no longer good for you. Okay? If you don't, then you can go another 9 years with these people in your energy. Another 9 years starting next year. So release what needs to be released. If they ain't been good to you over the last umpteenth years, it's time for you to consider you, because what they have shown you is that they're not valuing you like the collector values its collectibles. They're not putting you like God would on the top shelf. They're trying to hide you like that candlestick under a bushel to try to snuff out your light, because they want to shine like you shine. They want to pull you off your high horse so they can do what? Get on it and ride off with all your stuff in the sunset. That is what they want to do. But what God has for you, me and God was just talking about this yesterday, me and Father. What God has for you, guess what it is? It's for you. And can't nobody, I'm telling you, I don't care who tries it. Your vision is your vision. They might try to use what you use. They might try to do what you do. But it will never hit home like you make it hit home, okay? Because it's you. It was you that was chosen. It was you that was called. And not saying that they are not, but only you were called to your assignment. Only you were called to your purpose that you have been called to. And it's your difference that is going to be the one that makes a difference. So don't even worry about what they say, he say, she say, because hurt people, and they will definitely try today. They will definitely try to attack your character today, but don't pay no mind to what they say. You keep going, okay? Another name that we might see over in the news here, and I already mentioned this name, but it's Joby, I don't know how to say it, Jobe Billingham. Okay. Here, that's coming up here. But look, rebuke them here and move on. Okay, Jackson Joby might also be significant as well. Jackson Joby, will hear something about them in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Joby aviation stock. Okay, now I'm not a medical provider, not a medical expert, nor am I a financial advisor. Okay, nor am I an attorney or anything legal. Okay. I do have an MBA, so I guess I could call myself a businesswoman. But Joby aviation stock is what I'm seeing. So something highlighted about Joby. So if you know like I know, then you know, okay? But what do I know? I don't know nothing, okay? Just a little bit. All right. South Africa, we'll hear something highlighted in the news about South Africa over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Beer, okay? Beer, pot belly, swelled bellies, that type of stuff coming in. Skin care is highlighted here as well. People being extreme with their power. I feel like it's going to be somebody on a power trip. And I think we know who that is, okay? But I mean, there's a lot of people that could be who that is. And it's been like our leaders here lately on a power trip. But all right. So with all the stresses of the day, I'm also getting something coming in about blood pressure. Here, blood pressure being highlighted in the energy over the next 1 to 3 days or so, and people reaching their boiling point, things reaching their boiling point. That means it's about to get really hot out here, okay? It is about to get hot, like, I mean, literally hot, okay? Things are reaching their boiling point. I'm also seeing something coming in about BP. British Petroleum, BP, is going to be highlighted in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Basis point, bills payable in accounting, some finance, interest rates. We'll see something about interest rates come up in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. I'm also seeing clergy being highlighted in the energy. Clergy, so we're talking about leadership here, as far as like, I'm seeing Roman Catholic. I say I see something coming up about a bishop attire. I see like ceremony of some sort coming up here in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so, here. And that could be your point of advice, you know, when you're dealing with these difficult problems and stuff like this and these challenges, you know, that you're faced. And, you know, go talk to somebody. For some of you, that's going to be your preacher, your bishop, you know, go talk to somebody. Some of you, that's going to be your wise elders, your sages. You know, go talk to somebody. Your advisors, go talk to somebody, because, you know, they know enough to get you through the situation at times. Because, you know, these people who are in these positions, a lot of them didn't just get there without going through nothing. All that wisdom that you hear them talking about, they done lived that, a lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them done lived it. And they learned from it. And so now they're able to share it. Okay? So, don't feign knowledge. If you don't know something, one of the things that Father's always told me, if you don't know, ask. That's why I always say, if you know like I know, you know. Because I know I don't really know nothing. I just know where to find the answers to everything I want to know, okay? Or I need to know, okay? All right, so I do see some job losses coming out and people stressing. I told you about that. I see new demands being put in place. So these are new rules, regulations, and stuff like that here coming up. I'm also seeing, like people overreacting, and these overreacting could cause setbacks. And so something coming in about France. Okay, I keep seeing France. Something coming in about France. Over the next 1 to 3 days or so, we're going to hear something coming in about France. And also, I'm picking up something about a strike. Now, we're talking like airstrikes, right? But we're also talking like job strikes, okay? And we're also talking about like strikes, like blows, you know, like somebody striking something, somebody hitting something, okay? So all kinds of strikes, fights, and blows over the next 1 to 3 days or so we'll see in the news, okay? Physical confrontations, wrestling. Since I picked up Cody earlier, this could be Cody Rhodes. We'll hear some news about Cody Rhodes or something like that. Another stock here that's highlighted here in the energy, Copernico Sim SPA is in the energy. I'm picking up on something about the insurance industry. This could have something to do with insurance rates in the insurance industry. Um, I feel like it might increase. I don't feel like it's going to be a decrease. Not right now. I feel like a lot of things about to increase. Okay. Construction, occupancy, protection, and exposure is inner energy over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Cryptocurrency um, token is highlighted here. I'm also seeing that I was supposed to come back at the time that I came back. Because, like, seriously, like, I'm in the energy aisle. Like, it says, foretell, prophesy, predict, to indicate future by signs here, whether things are going to bode well or ill. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. And when it comes down to the boding well or ill, I see some things coming up when it comes down to finance. Okay, so it is rising unrest and rising interest here. Okay, which is not good for peace. So I don't see peace taking place at this time. Just like I told you last time. Remember when I said that before? They were talking about like there was going to be peace. They're going to stop striking over here, and they're going to stop. I was like, no, they're not. They just saying they are, but I don't see that happening right now. Okay. So a lot of annoyance here is what I'm seeing. So I'm also seeing here, when I was talking about Cody, that could just be code. I'm seeing a lot of code language, ciphers. We might hear something coming in about Morse code, because I'm seeing something about ships, billing and coding highlighted. Code is what we're going to be see. Somebody speaking in code, hieroglyphics, symbols, secrecy. Here, this is the type of energy that I'm picking up on here. I'm also seeing this is going to be very systematic, is what I'm seeing. So be listening in for Morse code, here, because it could be something significant coming in about that. I'm seeing laws, rules and regulations and stuff like that having to do with the Constitution talk coming in. I'm also seeing something about cannon. Okay. This could be, like missiles, the talk about missiles, but this could be like somebody whose name is Cannon, or it could be Nick Cannon. So we'll hear something about possibly Nick Cannon over the next 1 to 3 days or so coming up in the news, or some sort. Maybe he's got a new show or something like that, but it don't have to be nothing bad. It could always be something good. But that's what I'm picking up on: computer programming, genetic coding, more specifically something that has to do with amino acids and protein, unique identifiers, talk about product codes, zip codes, access codes, that type of thing. Labels been put on things, marks and labels here. So North Coders Group PLC is in the energy. I'm also seeing Code Lab Capital is in the energy. Okay. Deco, we talked about that. Visual arts, design. Okay, is what I'm seeing. Metals and exotic woods and glass. It's in the energy, so we'll start seeing like news and stuff having to do with like designing, glass designs, wood design, stuff like that. Ancient Egypt history, Mayan culture, this type of stuff we'll see coming in, because I feel like these were like some of the greatest artists in the world, or that's been, because some of the stuff still exists, and it has to do with construction. So I'm also seeing here disability owned businesses. I see something coming up about disability owned businesses. Adobe is going to be highlighted here. Something coming up about Adobe. Germany is highlighted in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Something about somebody coming in at the bottom or in last place, coming in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Okay, out of body experiences. People are going to be having outer body experiences. We're going to hear about somebody having an outer body experience. I see people overcoming events. That's all I know. I know that you're going to get through this. Outcome based education. These are some things that I'm seeing. Okay, so a lot of disability talk here, and people looking down on the less fortunate, people calling people stupid, dumb. I feel like somebody ends up trying to take advantage of somebody that might not yet know better here. And that's like the naivety. They're trying to take advantage of people who don't know no better. And that's why you've been attacked in your youth sometimes, because you didn't know no better and you didn't really know right from wrong. And so they played on your innocence. They played on that, you see? And so that's what the wicked does. They play on the innocent, those who don't know no better. Okay. I'm also seeing something coming in about like a smear. Somebody might try to do like a smear campaign. They want to smear your name and stuff like that. So you see what I'm talking about with this conflictual energy. Here, I want to make sure I want to get everything in here because there's a lot today. I know, because it's my first day back in a long time. I'm getting something about a lot of aircraft energy coming in. What is it called? Airtight. Okay. Airtight. Something about an airplane not being airtight over the next 1 to 3 days or so here. Something about first classes coming up. And this could also be airplane delays here, because I am getting a little bit of travel energy coming in about that. Okay, eco talk. Okay, this is like us taking care of our home. The world is our home. So when we're focusing on the home front, we're not just talking about the home, our home. We're talking about also our home in the world on earth. Okay. And so we also have to take care of that and be friendly to the earth. So you can do that by recycling. Okay. Here. And so I'm seeing ecology talk coming in, and talk about the conservation of diversity as well. Speaking of diversity, of course, we're going to have border talk still coming in. I'm picking up a lot about border talk here. I see people being very opinionated. They're going to have their opinions, and just know that everybody's entitled to their opinions regardless. They're entitled to them. You don't got to listen to what they got to say in a sense, but just know they're entitled to them. Okay. Okay, so I see like some of these opinions, though, they're going to incite a public debate. Okay, so that's what we can see over the next 1 to 3 days. Basically two parties basically going at each other here. All right. So buying and selling stock energy, as you've noticed, I've been saying so much about stocks and mentioning stocks and the energy. So I feel like this is going to be a busy week for the stock market. We're going to hear a lot about stocks over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Brokers and dealers, drug dealers too. A lot of arrests on the drug dealer side, because I'm seeing police energy. I'm seeing cheats and betrayal. So Look, yes, if you think that he's cheating, if you think that she's cheating, they just might be. Or it could just be in your head. All right? But this is how you know when God wakes you up in the middle of the night to show you something. If spirit gets involved, you better believe what's being said to you, okay? All right, so that's what I'm seeing here. Something coming in about coffee. Since we got the name Joe earlier, it could be Joe Coffee. It's a private company, but maybe Joe Coffee is going to go public eventually. I think it's a private coffee company in New York, okay? Here. Okay, let me see. Ooh, y'all, I got a ways to go. Okay. All right. So I'm seeing a lot of dance and music when you're cleaning. Put your music on, because you know it's helpful. But I'm seeing something coming in about dancing and music. Seeing over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Something significant about hazelnut. This could be hazelnut coffee, coffee bread. Here highlighted in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Cobalt Blue Holdings Ltd. Car chases. Intelligence coming in. I'm seeing. Okay. Okay. So a slight risk for mass shootings. I see a slight risk. It's not a huge risk, but a slight risk. As we're in the 6 month, this energy is like violent all month. Okay, I'm just telling you what I know. Okay, we're almost out of the 6 month, and it calms down a little bit next month to a certain extent, but I'm seeing here bodybuilding. That's why I said performance enhancements drugs. People be using this. This is steroid talk. I feel like something about steroids coming in over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Could be a wrestler who is accused or found guilty of using steroids. Okay, or a sports person here accused of steroids. Okay, this is a good time to purchase new furniture, clean furniture, all of that good stuff here. Okay, fix what you can fix, what you can't, don't worry about. Okay, make sure you get some rest. This is a time to where, if you feel tired and you need to rest, then do so. But if you got the energy to do something, because doing something is better than doing nothing, because tomorrow is the day of self-care. So tomorrow would be a good time for you to rest. Okay, so I'm seeing something coming in about marine animals, whales, a lot of fish highlighted in the energy here. And so working out energy is coming in. Like we talked about the bodybuilders, somebody also by the name of Deb is coming into the energy as well. A lot of talk about, like, I'm seeing a lot of finance energy here. Don't believe everything you hear, because sometimes they're going to be lying about their date of birth. Okay. And so you can't trust it, okay? Because somebody might try to report you to the authorities, or so we might see something about somebody reported to the authorities for messing with minors. Okay, I see a lot coming in about doctors and physicians in the energy over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Drinks. More like drinking will increase over the next 1 to 3 days or so. More specifically, brandy. Somebody by the name of Brandy. We'll hear something news coming in about the name Brandy over the next 1 to 3 days or so. The Dominican Republic we'll hear. Okay. I'm seeing we'll hear something about deers. Okay, so it might be We're approaching deer season, so you might start seeing a lot of deers over the next 1 to 3 days or so. You might see a dead deer or a deer on the road. Be careful when you're driving today here, because today is the day to where I'll tell you, pay attention while you're driving, because you might see a police for sure today. And, this is the day to where you get tickets and all of that stuff. It's also the day for policing politics, okay? So I wouldn't say speed today for sure. I wouldn't say speed anytime, but follow the law, okay? All right. Very poetic day. I see a lot of poetry coming in. People doing poetry. There might be quality checks to some extent at business. Like I said, it's a day to take care of the support aspects of things, okay? I'm also seeing here a bill of exchange coming into the energy. Something coming in about Russia, the Siberian, something rivers. I'm picking up a lot about rivers, okay? And the Arctic Ocean, okay, is highlighted in the energy. Some kind of surgical operation we'll hear about. Radio personalities here, we'll hear about something about them coming in the energy, because they deal with communication, okay? So I'm seeing here a lot of talk about education, putting into education, I guess getting ready for next year here. Something coming in about an island. Here I'm picking up, this could be an island in France, because I told you I'm picking up about France, something about France, Italy, the Alps, here, excrement, like poop, because I was falling asleep, y'all, and I kid you not. And because I was doing my notes late at night, and I was falling asleep, and all of a sudden my hands just started writing, and it said poop. And then I looked down and it said excrement. I was like, oh, okay. Petty officer, pilot officer, post office. These are things that I'm seeing in the energy here. A lot of sorrow, a lot of anguish over the next 1 to 3 days or so. So prayers ups, blessings down, okay? I'm seeing a lot of solicitation here. So don't fall for everything, okay? I'm seeing Delaware coming in, something about the Delaware Department of the Department of Employment is what I'm seeing. And so, and then completion, some things that you're going to be able to complete today, later on in the night. So a lot of completion talk over the next 1 to 3 days or so here. Okay. So it's about doing what it is that you can do, and leaving it at that. If you can't do it, don't worry about it. ED, erectile dysfunction, eating disorders over the next 1 to 3 days. A lot of phenomena, magnetism here. New ordinances put in place. Here, something about the magnetic field is what I'm picking up. People being beaten up and killed is what I'm picking up at gatherings and celebrations, okay? So be careful out there. I love you. Guble one. Hearts go out. You get a heart. You get a heart. You get a heart. Hearts go out. Hearts go out. Bye.